Welcome back to another episode of I Wani Hug That Gator. Even though we're pretty far into the fall season, today is the nice day out. There's a storm coming in later today with a cold front, so the temperatures outside are bearable enough to relax in. One last respite before the unforgiving cold of winter settles in. I decide to celebrate by eating lunch outside. After a good bit of prodding, Olivia joined me. Inko, it's too cold. It'll freeze my veins solid. It's 70 degrees and you already agreed. Calm down. We step out into the chilled air. She pulls the drawstring of her hoodie taut, yanking it shut again. When I try moving her along, she starts dragging her tail to the ground. You're secretly enjoying this, aren't you? That hoodie isn't hiding your silly little grin. There's a table up by the edge of the yard that looks pretty good. Now it's just the two of us. Alone. Sitting at a picnic table in complete silence. Ingenious one-liner flow through my head like a slam poetry champion, yet I can't work up the will to say anything about the wedding to her. Guess there's always later. So Olivia, the gator lifts her head from her roast beef sandwich, staring directly at me. What's up? How about this weather? Seriously. Yeah, seriously, I'm not used to coastal towns, so this is the nice change of pace. Well, it's pretty chilly. Part of why we're the only ones out here. It is pretty empty out here today. Maybe it's like a human dino thing, more acclimated to snow. Even with the hoodie, it's a lot colder than I'd like. Oh, why'd you agree to come outside with me? Well, you wanted to, and you... Olivia's lips quiver a little as she tries to work out words to say. Her mouth isn't up to the task as a flush of scarlet spreads across her cheeks and makes her pouting lips glow. Hey. Stop looking at me like that. I mean, where are you from then? The Midwest. The Midwest. Only loons come from the Midwest. Oh, come on, that's not true. Y'all come just from Virginia. What are you talking about? All right, what's it like then? A lot of empty promises, nothing worth talking about. What was St. Helens like before I showed up? Oh, horrible. Everyone here sucked. Well, they still do, I guess, but seriously, most of the faculty had to stick up their asses, and the student body was holding on for dear life. I'd do anything to get out of this place if I got to take you and Damien with me. Wow. Colorful. Olivia and I freeze at the familiar voice. The sound of a stone grinding on a stone echoes through the courtyard as we turn our heels towards whoever said that. Principal Scalar stands just as still as us, her face burning red. Though her jaw is moving, teeth grinding exceptionally loud as she looks at Olivia. Next to her stands a large whale dressed in formal attire. I guess Mr. Ferris is still doing that inspection. And did he hear... What were you saying just now about the students' morale, Principal Scalar? He doesn't even look up from his clipboard as he begins jotting down something with a pencil. I said had. Ever since Principal Scalar took over as our principal, things have gotten better. I'm going to die for a second. Olivia's words do little to make Scalar's face lessen in both color and intensity and heat. Yeah, have to say, this school is way better than my old one by at least a country mile. So, Mr. Inko, would you say that your time in St. Helens, since your transfer, has been both fruitful and comfortable? I mean, compared to my old school, I've met good friends, have had an excellent teachers and classes, and have had an all-around good time. Also, the cafeteria food is great here. It actually tastes like food and not microwaved, reheated gruel. Mr. Ferris gives me a nod and writes something else on his notepad before turning to face Olivia. What about you, Miss Olivia Halford, was it? Got any more comments regarding St. Hammond? Do be honest, if you please. Olivia shoots me a quick glance before taking a deep breath. Well, the school needs more handicapped access ramps. Also, the elevator in the main building is busted. Sometimes I get stuck for a few minutes. Also, our PE teacher steals hats from the students and hoards them in the equipment shed. I can almost feel the heat emanating from Principal Scalar's face as soon as Olivia finishes lodging her complaints. Wouldn't want to be around her after Ferris's visit is over. For his part, Mr. Ferris only nods and writes more down on his clipboard before turning back to face Scalar, who does her best to turn a grimace into a small kind of smile. Seems like there are some issues left over from the previous administration. Are you already taking care of correcting the issues Miss Halford has pointed out? Principal Scalar nervously clears her throat. I've already sent in request to the district to have the elevators looked at by our technicians. Mr. Ferris nods and writes something else on his clipboard before clicking his pen and stuffing it in his suit pocket. I'll have to talk to Superintendent about the request next time I'm at the office. What about the PE teacher Miss Olivia mentions? Oh, Mr. Coach Sully. Mr. Ferris raised an eyebrow. It's his legal name. I know. He checks the page and sighs a bit. Right. Ferris turns to face me. Well, that's enough about St. Hammond's for the time being. Mr. Inko, how would you say things are going? For you, not just as a student, but as a growing adult. This school has really helped me learn a lot, sir. I respect the efforts of the students and faculty alike for their efforts in making me feel welcome. It's much more refined than my old school, at least. Wow, you might as well ask him for a letter of recommendation already. Huh? That's not what I was doing, Olivia. Olivia doesn't even respond to me, instead laughing quietly to herself. I'll keep that in mind. The Leviathan finishes jotting down something on his clipboard, finally turning to Principal Scalar. I think I have everything I need for the time being. So, Mr. Ferris, why don't we adjourn to the faculty lounge? Of course, we can go over your future budgetary plans over the nice cup of coffee. The inspector turns away and Principal Scalar lagging behind him with a look of pure misery on her face. I wish he'd done this freshman year. With a huff and a frown, Olivia stabs at her lunch tray, treating her Caesar salad like a voodoo doll. Well, look on the bright side. She levels her silver eyes on me, but remains focused on treating her salad like a namesake. It's senior year, and we're both about halfway through. So we only have to put up with the place for a couple more months. She lances the largest piece of chicken, twisting her spork roughly. And then what? I guess, I don't really have any concrete plans for after school. What do you mean? You mentioned all that stuff about making a name for yourself. I mean, yeah, when I first got here, that was the goal. But honestly, I haven't even considered what I was going to do to get there. It's my turn to toy with my meal. You? I plan on getting an art degree. Whoa, really? Online, of course. Oh, not like I have any other options. The only time I'm worth anything is when there's a brush in my hand. Only classes I'm really passing, too. I nod my head in understanding, but she's talking about her future, but it sounds more like resignation than a declaration. I at least have something, even if the path to my goal is vague. The morose mood leaves me at a loss for words. Damn it, I was hoping to actually use this time to, I don't know. I wanted to talk to Olivia and, ask her something. Or something like that. Stupid Mr. Ferris and his workplace politics dampening the mood. The air between us is awkward as we pick up our lunch, and even after the bell rings, we're forced to finish eating. It's still weird. Even when I ask if Olivia would like to push to history, she just remains silent in thought. Olivia has been quiet for about 5 minutes now. Even though 5 minutes isn't that long time, Olivia had grown so much chattier as of late, so the silence felt a bit off-putting to me. A part of me couldn't help but wonder if the cold shoulder directed at me or just the remaining nerves from the last conversation. Nah, just thinking about it. So, penny for your thoughts, Olivia? Oh, right. Sorry, guess I'm not here right now. What were you thinking about exactly? Olivia lets out a sigh and turns her head upwards so that her eyes meet mine. I really got to thinking about what we were talking about earlier, how it seems like neither one of us knows what exactly we'll be doing after school's over. Oh, right, yeah, that. I hadn't given it much thought to the fact that I had essentially dropped a bombshell on both of us. Now that I really stopped to think about it, though, the idea that neither one of us really knows what to do after graduation is concerning. Most seniors, at least, have a small idea of what they'll want to do after graduation. At least I think. Hell, Liz made a full chart and a timeline for herself. I mean, I always figured I'd go to college, but that feels so basic, for lack of a better word. There should be some kind of grander plan on what to do with the next big step in life. University, a career, maybe even starting some kind of family. Those are the kind of plans that come to my mind. They're all just simple platitudes at the end of the day, though. Is it even worth making plans? The more I think about it, the more likely it is that something stupid just comes out of left field and wrecks everything. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans and all. So maybe all I can really do is live in the moment. I always hated that sort of thinking. Just be a sitting duck for life to take pot shots at me? Just live pretending death can't show up and take me at any time? Hey, it's Olivia. Oh, shit. And friend. Olivia stiffens in her chair. Oh, hey, Mia. Olivia's words are a hiss as she tries to face away from the crimson-scaled girl. Her hands shakily strain against the wheels of her chair, slowly turning to it. Got a couple questions to ask you, Olivia. Would you like to humor me for a bit? Oh, what am I saying? Course you don't mind. Parasaur saunters up, and with a sway of her hip pushes me aside as she takes Olivia's reins from me. What the hell? You're insane if you think we're going with you anywhere. We? She looks down to Olivia and back at me. We? He's funny. We're just going for a little girl talk. No boys allowed, sorry. You're up for that, right, Liv? She puts her hand on her shoulder and cocks an eyebrow back at me like she knows something. Oh, God, I'm going to eat this bitch. What? Nothing. Yeah, we'll just be a minute. Don't worry that pretty little head of yours. I'm left gawking and confused as the two head off in another direction. Olivia doesn't seem to know what to say or do either, so she just goes along with the parasaur, wheeling her away. A part of me wants to give chase, but the side eye that Mia sends back at me forces me to stop. I feel useless as I watch the two turn a corner. My thoughts of what I want to do going after the pair are betrayed by my body still frozen by the icy glare from Mia. Damn it! Just get to class and ask what it was all about later. By the time I get to Prockling's history class, I'm half expecting to find Olivia already waiting for me, some kind of remark primed and ready to be spoken to me. But instead, she isn't there. I reluctantly take my seat, tapping my foot impatiently. Even when the bell comes and goes, there's still no sign of her. Shit. I shouldn't have let Olivia go with her alone. What the hell was I thinking? I really don't want to cut class, but I can't afford anything bad happening to her. Nope. I can't sit and do nothing. I shoot my hand up in class, causing Miss Pruckling to pause mid-lecture. Yes, Mr. Nito? Miss Pruckling, can I please be excused? Why? Class has barely started a few minutes ago. Because I... shat myself. I'm halfway out the door already. Where did they go? It's not a soul to be found anywhere. If I were a bitch, where would I be harassing somebody in secret? Shoot. Whatever's between them, I hope it isn't turning physical. I mean, she wouldn't, would she? My hands clench tighter and tighter as I focus on walking faster. Finally, something snaps me out of my trance, the faint sound of squeaking metal. I've heard that sound before. I turn towards the source, just beyond the door of a nearby classroom. Judging by the paraphernalia covering the door, I think this is algebra room. I grab the handle haphazardly, throwing it open, praying that I'm not about to rudely interrupt a teacher for a second time today. Looks like shit, how am I? Should be happy it's done. The two turn to me in a mixture of anger and surprise. And they're the head of the girls I was looking for. It's like a sudden three-way standoff. I was definitely not intended to be a factor in whatever this is. I really should have thought about that before barging in. Thank Raptor Jesus she's okay. What the fuck are you doing here? I should have asked you two the same question. Oh my god. Look, Baldy, now not the time. Don't talk to him like that. Yeah, what? I told you not to be followed. You were there when we left. He just heard you screaming like a maniac. I've been forgotten already. Hey! Why are you two in an empty classroom yelling at each other? The two fall deathly silent, unwilling or unable to speak. I notice a piece of paper in Mia's hand. It looks like something drawn on it. The style is different, but it's unmistakably one of Olivia's works. Mia, why do you have her drawing? Parasaur stops blinking for a few seconds before shoving the paper in her jacket. Before I can question any further, Olivia speaks up. Inko, why did you come here? You seem like you were in trouble. How touching. Well, we're all in trouble now. We? Yeah, dumbass. I don't have time for this. Hot Wheels, fill them in. What's the big issue? Olivia's claws at her armrest again. She looks ready to cry. Hey, where do all your vicious bravado go? Are you afraid to tell him? Afraid of what he'll think? Shut up. Precious, fine, I'll say it. Mia turns to me with a malicious grin. I know about what this prick did during the yearbook art contest. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't give two shits. But then it hit me. Holy shit, she can just get away with it. Now, how crazy is that? She pauses, goading me to say otherwise, but I bite my tongue. Like a shark smelling blood, she starts to circle me, continuing her taunts. Then one thing leads to another, and now we're helping each other out. After all, if the school found out, they'd leave a permanent mark on her unemployable ass. What? Yours too, probably, since you're involved and all. My teeth creak painfully from my clenched jaw, and yet the blood drained from my face. I'm talking about your record, you mouth breather. Art's a big break, right? Skipping the whole rigmarole, the gist of it's simple. So Olivia draws up some BS group project for me and my friends of mine, turns them in, and I make sure to get the whole incident goes away. I managed to earn back some of the feeling in my consciousness. Just long enough to defy her. But that's blackmail and cheating. That's wrong. Oh my god, that's fucking precious. Mia blinks a few times before turning back to Olivia, then back to me, and then back to Olivia. What are you disappointed in her now? I bet you made her pinky swear she'd never do anything like that again. She leans closer to me, Fox whispering. Well, sorry to break the news, Inko, but your friend is a liar. Don't listen, I wouldn't be. She was threatening me. Threatening, honey. If we were swapped, you'd see my ass hanging. All I'm doing is making things better for the both of us. Not my fault you tried to get away with cheating. You'd think a cripple like you'd have more shame than that. I watch Olivia's eyes start twitching, Mia really starting to get to her. I can't let her keep talking to her like that. Mia, just stop it, okay? She really doesn't need this right now. Can't you both just walk away and pretend this never happened? Shit, Inko, you good. You hear that, Olivia? Wait, but I didn't mean... Olivia's staring at me with a look of betrayal that threatens to tear my heart in two. God damn it, why can't I stop talking for once? Mia waves me off, turning to face her target once more. I bet you'd love to walk away from this, but things just don't work that way, do they? Oh, that's why you didn't want Inko knowing you're still a dirty cheater. Shut up. Oh, relax, it's not a big deal. No, I'm sick of this. You already admitted it. Art's my big break. You're only doing this because art is all I have. Your record is fucked. You lose nothing if we get caught. It's Tuesday for you. But me, it's all I have. You're embarrassing yourself. You know, I can't lift or run or carry or dance or fucking anything you do on a daily basis without even thinking about it. I can't ever do anything because of these fucking legs and this fucking chair. Why can't any of you just leave me alone? I just want to draw for God's sake. Mia rolls her eyes and takes a step closer to Olivia. That's a nice outburst and all, sweetie, but I really thought you were smarter than this. Olivia wipes away her eyes on her sleeve. What? Mia takes another step forward. Think, handbag. Would I really go through the trouble of making you do this junk for meddling grades? If your work were crap, you wouldn't have a record to hold over you. Everyone knows you're the best artist in this place. You're just a retard about it. Olivia's mouth hangs open, but no words come out. You're the kind of idiot to let this sort of comment get to you, so let me be the first to say. Congratulations, Olivia. You have a fan. Anyways, Inko. Oh, crap. Distractions aside, you're in on it too now. You don't want Olivia to starve now, would you? Her words, not mine. Say a damn word about any of this and she's doomed. Do you understand me? I try to muster up words of defiance, but just past me a stare of death, I spot Olivia's horrified expression. Hello, Baldy. I'm waiting for your answer, Skinny. I honestly don't know what to say or do in this situation. No. Excuse me? Let me think this over with Olivia. Think this over? You dense or something? This is a simple yes or no question. You can't seriously frickin'... Mia pinches the bridge of her snoot and lets out a tired sigh. Fine. The two of you talk it over and reach some kind of resolution. But that won't change the fact that what I said earlier, Inko. Don't say I didn't do nothing nice. But think carefully, amigo. You both got a hell of a lot more to lose than I do. Mia only gives me and Olivia one final glance before ceremoniously leaving the room. It takes me a bit to recover my thoughts. I never thought Mia would go this far. And Olivia's right. And Olivia right now, she must be... I stand there on the floor, slowly approaching the alligator. She looks like a mess. Why? Why did you have to come in here? I'm sorry, I was just worried about what Mia could have been doing to you, and I wanted to make sure you were alright. Olivia grips her armrest. I was alright. I had it handled with Mia. But to basically be her slave, doing all her work? Not all of it, just whatever she needs to pass. I'll take a seat next to her there. She threatened me that she'd go to Scalar and spill everything. And if Scalar knew that I swapped the art, she'd know that I was with you. I couldn't let her do that to us, so I got desperate. I told her I'd do anything she wanted. That's how I got mixed up with her. I let out a deep and heavy sigh. Olivia, I can understand why, but I heard how Mia was treating you before I came in. Even when you're doing her work to save her skin, she's still treating your art, and more importantly you, like garbage. My words ripped through the Gator girl's fragile heart, her face contorting in a fierce snarl. Even her eyes grow wet. You're miserable. You know that. Olivia looks away from me, her face scrunching up as tears well in her eyes. I don't know what to do. And I don't even know if I can trust her to keep her word. And now that you know what's going on, Mia has a noose around both of our necks. The gravity of the situation settles in. It feels like something in me is both frozen over and ablaze. There is only 6 months left in the semester. It's not like she's asking for something impossible. Her eyes regain some fire and she smiles. I'll just have to tough it out. Keep making art to shut her up until this whole stupid thing can blow over. She's been going through this for so long and I'm out of options and so is she. I just blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind. Why not tell Scalar about what Mia's making you do? Scalar, are you out of your mind? You saw how she handles things around here, especially with the auditor breathing down her neck. I'm trying to avoid getting caught. Right. Okay, Latican. For a split second, I see her mask crack, her real worry evident in those silver eyes shaking. No. Olivia makes a show of clearing her throat. Mr. Latican doesn't need to hear this either. You know he'd be able to. I can do this on my own. Her balled-up fists quake wildly after they slam onto her armrest, and the Gator girl does her best to hide her wince. I really don't think we can fix this if we're not working together. There's nothing to fix. I told you I have it under control. Just please, Inko, I need you to trust me on this. Don't ruin this for me. I do trust you. Her voice is softening, but as if she's been fully drained now. I can handle it, I told you. Her fists unfurl and continue shaking. I take one of her hands, ignoring her indignant sputters as I delicately cradle it in my palm. Her protest died down in a pained whine when my thumb ever so slightly presses down on a joint. All this time you've been doing your best, Olivia. My soft words draw out even softer breath from her. Mia's had me drawing for her group almost daily. It must hurt a lot after doing it so long. Maybe it does, but it's nothing I can't work through. Why can't you trust me to help then? It's not that I don't trust you, Inko. It's that I did trust everyone else. So please stop asking about fixing me. Huh? Or fixing things, I mean. Is that what this is about? Olivia burns out at this point. Olivia's burning out at this point. She's already hurt badly, and I can feel her hand still shaking. It's beyond the point that either of us alone can handle. I let go of Olivia's hand, watching as she takes back her hand and settles it against her chest. I hook a nearby chair leg with my foot and drag the seat closer. Close enough that I can sit right next to the baryonyx. Inko. I find that being next to her like this makes it easier for what I'm about to say. Breathe in, breathe out. Meet her eyes once again, and I speak my honest thoughts. Mr. Latican can help Olivia. Her teeth grind together as though contemplating mauling my face off. Please hear me out. I want to trust you, Inko, but I'm just scared that Latican will hate me forever after this. He's the only one that's ever made me feel like my art is worth something. I can't lose him. Look, we can get you out of this. Of course Latican will understand, even go to bat for you. And if you're the one to speak up, it means you're the one getting back at Mia. She won't have power over you. I can't just give it all up like this. How can I trust you with my entire future? You have nothing to lose. I have everything. Can you trust Latican? Will he really just let that happen? Mia has no reason not to throw you under the bus. Does she? Does he? Of course not. Mr. Latican is He's the only teacher that's never given up on me. I'm here with you too. You're not alone, Olivia, but you need to accept our help. Please? Olivia looks at me in the eyes for a few seconds before sharply snapping her face downward. Her body then begins to quiver, almost as if she's trembling with a mixture of cold and fear. Olivia? I get up from my chair and reach out to grasp her shoulder to try and comfort her somewhat. It's okay. I'm here for you. Olivia's shaking lessens, giving me hope that my words were starting to reach her. But not 2 seconds after those thoughts cross through my mind, Olivia's shaking resumes again. The shaking followed by sniffling, at which point I notice tears rolling down Olivia's snoot and falling right into her lap. Before I can finish my words, Olivia lunges forward and wraps her arms around my abdomen, bringing me forward and burying her face in my stomach. At which point she begins to let out what I can only describe as a pain-filled wail. At first, I'm left utterly frozen in place, hands raised and eyes wide. Nothing in my life has ever prepared me for a situation such as this. No, Inko, you know what to do. I place both my other hand on Olivia's shoulders and slowly take a single knee, bringing me to eye level with her. Then, without saying a word, I tighten my embrace, allowing her arms to wrap around my neck as I wrap my arms around hers. My waist is pulled closer too by her boa-like tail that's become an impromptu belt, harnessing me to the Gator girl. There is a distinct thumping on my chest, rhythmic and relaxing. The realization that it's her heart sets my face ablaze, but also brings a smile to my lips. I close my eyes and let myself become lost in the warmth of Olivia's embrace. When we break apart, I check our time limit. My phone says there's still 20 minutes before school's out. Hopefully Latican has a free period right now. You ready? Olivia gives a small nod. I get up and start towards the door. The door held open to the back of my shoe. I look at her. Olivia wheels over as she grunts with each push. Ah, crap, I'm an idiot. Once she reaches me, Olivia gives me a meaningful look. Though I don't really get the intent till her tail wraps itself around my waist. Oh, right. Taking Olivia's reins for her, we start towards our art teacher's room in companionable silence. Fuck. All right, so that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to find out what happens with Latican next time. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this series. It's really, really great. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure, and have a fantastic day, everybody.